All right, so in this fourth video,
I guess so.
I'm going to show you how to get on FTJConnect and re-up your medical and also go through the dental and vision. Those will be also options on here. And if you have no questions, if you've had your questions answered and you want to do this on your own, you can feel free to do that. Just want to again point out that FTJ will be here through this Friday, which is the 12th, and open enrollment. This FTJConnect will be open until the 19th if you need to make changes. So real quick, we're just going to show the process of getting through to your open enrollment. Our username always starts off with 541. That's our unique ID, and then it's first name, last name, and luckily I had my password saved in my phone. If you don't and you've forgotten your password, you just need to click on that link right there. It's going to give you a couple security questions, possibly send you a link to update through your email, but that'll be your process.
And that is an important thing to remember. We chose not to reset everyone's password like we did last year. We figured out that created more problems than it solved. So if you've forgotten your password, just click through that forgot password link. And then here's the landing page that opens up next, and that's what you want to see, is that start your enrollment button. So that's right where you start. And then here is a screen where it asks you to verify all of your information. So we'll scroll through there. There's I think maybe some socials in there, so we won't show the screen. And you'll click on the I agree button at the bottom and then continue over to the right. And then it asks you then to verify your family information. So anybody that you choose to cover on any of your plans, whether it be life insurance, dental, vision, or health insurance, make sure that they're on that screen. And then you click continue. And then here's where it'll take us into the actual enrollment.
One thing I want to point out, Drew, is I have a unique situation. We actually have several in the district that do, where both I and my spouse are employees of the district. And so you need to make sure that one of your open
if they cover children.
It's only if they cover children.
Correct.
Okay.
It's only for team teachers, husband and wife team employees that cover their children. There is an advantage to having everybody combined under one ID number. And in that case, one of the employees will have to choose to be the quote-unquote employee and enroll everybody on their plan, even the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
The other chooses to be the quote-unquote spouse, and that person does definitely have to go onto the system and waive the coverage. It seems awkward to waive it, but they're actually getting enrolled through their spouse. The employee enrolls everybody. And the district knows, and the computer is set up in such a way that that employee does not get charged the spouse premium.
Okay.
And you'll see that when you actually do the enrollment, and you'll see that on the HSA contributions.
So my wife would go in and waive coverage because she is covered under mine.
Correct, because you are both employees and because you cover children. That's the only situation where that advantage comes up.
Right here on medical, there's this button here that says, I don't want this benefit waived. That's what my wife would click.
That's absolutely correct.
But I do want it. So here's my family.
And you'll notice here, it's going to have the enrollment loaded from last year. So everybody that you covered last year will have a green check by it. If somebody does not have a green check by it and you do want to cover them, make sure and check that box next to their name. So in your case, you carried family coverage in the past, so all of those are checked.
And thank goodness, no kids this year, so I don't have anybody to add.
That's right.
But if we did, that's where you do it right here.
That's right. Well, actually, the second screen is the better place to add it, but they allow you to add it there too. And so here's all the plans that are offered, all 4 of them, and it'll show your cost over to the right for each of the plans for the people that you've actually selected to enroll. So you'll just scroll down and it'll show the family cost for all of those. And whichever one you want to select, and I believe you've done the 4,000 in the past.
We have, yep.
So you'll click select if you like that plan. And here's the other, this is really important. You'll see those of you that take the high deductible plan, you have to remember this health savings part. Click on that view plan options and get yourself that district board paid contribution. So it takes you into this screen. It shows the amounts that the district's going to put in, and you click select there. And here's also where you have the opportunity to decide whether you want to put some voluntary contribution in.
Yeah.
And I will also draw note to the fact that where you see that $128 per month, that is twice the amount of the normal employee, because that is a $64 contribution for Dr. Boyer and a $64 contribution for his wife. So this is no superintendent.
I'm glad you
preference
pointed
there.
that out.
Don't let that confuse you, but that's what I was talking about earlier, where it takes into account that we've got a spouse that's actually an employee. And then here is your voluntary contribution, and it will keep you within the IRS limits. So it takes into account what the district puts in and then what you want to do voluntarily. If you don't want to contribute voluntarily, just put a 0 in there. But whatever you put in last year, whatever we most recently have in the system, will automatically show up.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, because we get a lot of questions on this, that if you've got medical expenses, and we have braces coming for the Boyer children, my $300 is basically what my payment's going to be on braces. So I'm throwing it into my HSA so that I can get that IRS tax benefit.
Big advantage.
So
click continue there, and that's the key. You really want to don't miss that screen, because that's how the district knows that you're eligible for the account and that you want that money. And then just keep moving right through. It'll have all the choices here. So here's the dental, and in the past, I'm not sure exactly what you've covered, but we're gonna all of the enrollers, we're going to have a copy of the current bill. So we're going to be able to show what you currently had if you have any questions about that when you're enrolling. And there it shows the cost again. And as Dr. Boyer showed you there, the green check marks weren't checked for his family members, but he has chosen to cover family on the dental.
And so it already knows, and so it just gave me the tier, the employee and family rate. I'll select that.
Done. Vision, he's waived in the past. You'll see it already says that he's waived it in the past, and if you want to keep that selection, you continue to waive it and click there. Here's the board paid life insurance. You'll see it's no cost to you, but definitely don't skip past that. You want to keep selection there.
Oh, my bad.
And then there's some additional life insurance that's available through the district. That basic dependent life, that's kind of a weird little plan. It's not very much coverage. It's $2 per month. You've not done that, I don't believe, in the past, or maybe you have, where you can, for $2 a month, you can add $5,000 of coverage to a spouse and $2,000 coverage to each and every one of your children.
It sounds like a good deal, but until my wife and I get a chance to talk about it, we are not going to sign up. But we can come back in here after we finish this up until the 19th. We can come back in here and make those changes.
Correct. So at this point, you're going to waive that benefit. And then there is that voluntary life that we've offered in the past. And I will make a note here, and we may talk about it in another kind of final video. The voluntary life insurance, we currently have it with Anthem. We're moving it over to a company called Unum. It's going to have the exact same rates as you currently have. So if you currently have coverage, it will automatically move over to Unum. But because it's a new coverage, it is actually open enrollment once again. And that means that everybody that's an eligible employee for this benefit can go 5 times their salary up to a maximum of $200,000, no questions asked. So that's a really important thing. And this is where we'll be talking about that. And just for simplicity's sake, it's probably just to move on, go ahead and waive all those, knowing that we can come back to those if we need to.
It said waived up here, so I'm keeping those selections.
Yep. We didn't have accidental death to offer last year. That's an add-on to the life insurance. And it's a really inexpensive way to double your benefit if you were to pass away as a result of an accident. So it pays an additional benefit in addition to your life insurance. It's pretty common to have that bundled together, and that's the way the board paid life insurance that the district provides is actually life insurance plus accidental death. So that's why you got to click through those depending on what you want to do there.
Now, what do I see? I'm just going to click here, so that just kind of gives me I can go to the plan details here.
Yep, and then a little bit further down, you'll see that PDF where it says Univoluntary Life. That'll pull up the summary there.
Okay. So again, I'm not sure that this is something that we want to partake in. We can drill down in there a little bit, get that information, and then come back in and make that that change.
So go ahead and waive them just so that we can get to the final confirmation screen. So once you've done everything, you should get a little green box over here saying that you've addressed everything, and whatever you waive will be shaded in brown.
Here we go.
And then
I did not.
Good point. We forgot to. That's exactly what I was talking about. So you want to have green all the way down the line.
So that was gray. So I knew that I missed something.
So you've addressed all the things that you need to address, and then over on the right you'll click Continue, and it'll kick you into a summary. Where actually I forgot about this. Always want to update beneficiaries. So this is for any of the life insurance, even if it's just the board-paid life insurance. You'd be amazed at how many times we have life insurance benefits paid out to an ex or a former spouse. So don't take this lightly. You'll need to update your beneficiaries.
Okay, and I'll go through and check this in just a few minutes, but I'll probably put a family member or a good friend here just in case something happens to my wife at the same time. And so I'm going to push Continue.
And then this will kick you into that final summary. It'll just show everything you've done. So it'll show your total cost. It shows what the district pays. It shows what you're obligating yourself to, and all those things that we've done. And you got to scroll all the way to the bottom and click I agree, and that serves as your electronic signature. And then you complete your enrollment.
I just want to point out that everything is grayed out except for those things that you took.
Correct.
So if you see something in here that you want that's grayed, you better go back and make a change. If you see something that's colored that you don't want.
And even though we know that this is maybe not your final enrollment, let's go ahead and click that button, and then over to the right, click complete the enrollment. And here's where you'll have an option to either print off that summary that we just looked at or email it to yourself. So you'll click either of those buttons and we'll send a copy of it. And then I'll have you go ahead and log out just so we can show what it's going to look like. Oh, it's spinning. It's working. Slow computer.
Just keep on double clicking, right?
Yeah. That always helps.
It's how I try to motivate the computer.
And then it's pretty straightforward to log back in, and there'll be a button that says change my election. So if you needed to update, it's something as simple as updating your beneficiaries, or if you decide you want to add the dental all the way through, like you said, all the way through May 19th, you have the option to log back into that system.
All right. So
and actually click on the home icon. I think that'll show you then that your enrollment is complete. You get a nice little green check there. And again, it's going to think forever on it. But then it'll say, there it is, your enrollment is complete. And you would simply click on that change my elections if you want to make any changes.
Okay. Excellent.
It's really pretty straightforward. I will remind everybody that for your beneficiaries, or definitely for anybody that you want to cover on any of the plans, we have to have Social Security numbers this year.
Okay.
It's imperative for IRS and health insurance reporting. So we can't fudge any numbers in there. We've got it because we provide the information directly out of the system to Cigna for the member IDs. So we don't want any inaccurate Social Security numbers going to Cigna.
Great.
That's really it. And again, I will reinforce what Dr. Boyer said earlier. We will be available in the district to help you. We'll click right through these screens and ask you the questions. But if you're feeling motivated and comfortable with the technology, by all means, hop on there and knock it out.
Excellent. Thanks, Drew, for walking me through, and hope this helps you guys.
Thank you, guys.